Dish soap is one of the least questioned products in the house. It's inexpensive, it's familiar, and it's always there. When it runs out, we don't compare labels or think too hard. We just grab another bottle that looks right, smells clean, or promises to make the job quicker. That's exactly why this category is so revealing. Dish soap hasn't changed much chemically in decades. What has changed is how it's presented. Today, most of the innovation in this aisle isn't about cleaning better. It's about changing how the product feels to use. Foam, thickness, scent, convenience, packaging. All things that don't improve results, but absolutely change behavior. So instead of asking which dish soap works, we're going to look at how different dish soaps are designed to be used, what habits they quietly encourage, and how those habits affect cost over time. 7 common options that look harmless, but quietly waste value. And 3 that actually make sense once you step back and watch how the bottle empties. 7 worst dishwash soaps to avoid. Number 7. Ultra-scented budget liquids. Palmolive and Ajax are the soaps most people start with. Bright colors, familiar names, and a strong fragrance. The scent hits immediately and does most of the convincing. It tells you the soap is powerful before it even touches a dish, which builds trust fast. What's easy to miss is how thin these formulas are. Thin soap pours quickly, spreads instantly, and creates very little resistance when you squeeze the bottle. That matters, because resistance is one of the few things that naturally limits use. Without it, dosing becomes automatic. You squeeze until it feels like enough. And enough is guided almost entirely by smell. The fragrance lingers long after the soap is rinsed away, reinforcing the idea that it's still working. Over time, your brain starts associating stronger scent with better cleaning, even though the actual cleaning already happened seconds earlier. The bottle empties faster than expected, but nothing about that feels abnormal, because replacement has always been frequent. The product trains you to accept high turnover as normal. Number 6. Ultra-thick gel dish soaps. Thickness changes perception instantly. When soap moves slowly, clings to a sponge, and feels heavy in your hand, it signals concentration and strength. That sensation creates confidence, and confidence reduces scrutiny. What most people don't realize is that thickness can be engineered independently of cleaning power. Increasing viscosity doesn't require increasing active surfactants. Brands like Dawn Platinum and Fairy Max Power know that a thicker product feels premium, even if the underlying formula hasn't meaningfully changed. The slower pour gives the illusion of control, as if you're using less, but behavior doesn't usually follow that logic. People still squeeze until the sponge looks and feels saturated. The difference is psychological. The product feels indulgent to use. That indulgence makes extra soap feel justified rather than wasteful. What's being optimized here isn't efficiency per wash. It's the moment of use, the tactile experience that convinces you the product is doing more than it actually is. Number 5. Antibacterial dish soaps. Brands like Palmolive Antibacterial borrow authority from environments that have nothing to do with home dishwashing. Hospitals, medical settings, public hygiene. That borrowed seriousness turns an ordinary task into something that feels higher stakes. In reality, dishwashing already works through friction, heat, and surfactants. The goal isn't sterilization, it's removing grease and residue so dishes can be rinsed clean. Adding antibacterial agents doesn't meaningfully change that process. What it does change is how the purchase feels. Once antibacterial enters the picture, cost stops feeling like a choice and starts feeling like a responsibility. Questioning the premium feels careless, even though the outcome at the sink is effectively the same. This category survives by reframing dish soap as protection rather than utility. The value lives in reassurance, not results. Number 4. Premium aesthetic dish soaps. Products from brands like Method or Mrs. Meyer's aren't designed to disappear under the sink. They're designed to be visible. The packaging is soft, the typography is friendly, the scents are curated. Everything signals intention and calm. That visibility subtly changes how the soap is used. When something looks good sitting out, it stops feeling scarce. You squeeze more freely. You don't think twice about another pump. Combined with gentler formulas,
That leads to higher usage per wash.
The product slowly stops being a tool and becomes part of the environment. At that point, consumption is driven less by need and more by habit. Nothing feels excessive because the product itself never feels aggressive. The cost doesn't spike, it just repeats quietly. Number 3. Flagship eco and plant-based brands. 7th generation and Ecoverdish soaps position themselves as responsible choices. Fewer harsh chemicals, better for skin, better for the environment. That promise is genuine, but it comes with structural trade-offs. Lower surfactant strength means grease breaks down more slowly. Most people compensate instinctively by using more soap or washing longer. Because the experience feels mild, that compensation doesn't register as wasteful. It feels careful. Over time, bottles empty sooner than expected. Refills happen more often. The higher price per bottle blends into routine because nothing about the usage feels excessive. The product doesn't punish overuse. It quietly absorbs it. The value here isn't dishonest, but it relies on behavior most people never stop to measure.
Number 2. Dish soap pods and tablets. Pods from brands such as Finish or Fairy Pods promise simplicity. No pouring, no guessing, no mess. Everything about them is designed to feel efficient and modern. The problem is that efficiency only exists if the dose matches the task. Pods assume every wash deserves the same amount of soap, which almost never reflects reality. A lightly used cup and a greasy pan cost exactly the same. Once you hand dosing over to automation, you lose the ability to scale down. Every wash includes packaging, pre-measuring, and convenience baked into the price. The system feels streamlined, but it's rigid. And rigidity is expensive when tasks vary as much as dishwashing does. Number 1. Power Foam Dish Sprays. Foam sprays like Dawn Power Wash or Fairy Power Spray turn dishwashing into a visual event. The foam expands instantly, clings dramatically, and spreads across the surface. That visual confirmation is the product's main feature. To make spraying possible, formulas have to be light and diluted, mixed with air and propellant. The result is a product that feels active but disappears quickly. Because spraying is satisfying and fast, usage increases naturally. It resets expectations about how much soap a normal wash should take. What looks like efficiency is mostly spectacle. The bottle empties fast because it's designed to be used often, generously, and without friction. If this is already changing how you look at everyday purchases, subscribing helps more than you think. We break down categories like this every week, calmly, without hype, so you can spot the patterns before they repeat somewhere else.
What all of those had in common was friction removal, making dishwashing feel faster, easier, or more pleasant. The next 3 do the opposite. They give control back to the user, which is why they're rarely talked about. 3 dishwash soaps that are actually worth it. Number 3. True concentrated liquids, manual dosing. Products from Dawn Power Wash or Fairy Power Spray don't rely on sensation to guide use. No dramatic scent, no thick texture, no visual cues pushing you to add more. Higher active concentration means smaller amounts do real work, but only if you're paying attention. They reward restraint instead of impulse. That's why they often feel underwhelming at first. There's nothing here trying to impress you. Over time, the bottle lasting far longer than expected becomes the only feedback loop that matters.
Number 2. Refill and bulk systems. Refill systems by method. Refill or e-cover refill stations change the economics by changing the rhythm of consumption. There's no new bottle moment, no reset that encourages heavier use. Soap becomes something you maintain rather than consume. Savings don't arrive dramatically. They accumulate quietly through fewer purchases, less packaging, and steadier usage. It's not exciting, it's structural. Number 1. Commercial and food service. Dish concentrates. Most people don't even know this category is even available to them. These products are sold through restaurant suppliers, janitorial stores, and wholesale distributors, places households rarely think to look. Brands like Ecolab and Diversey typically appear in commercial kitchens, where soap is tracked, measured, and optimized. It isn't an experience, it's a line item. That mindset strips away scent stories, visual theatrics, and convenience premiums entirely. What's left is cost per wash, and everything about the product reflects that.
Dish soap feels insignificant because it's cheap and familiar. That's exactly why the economics stay hidden. When design, convenience, and emotion start driving usage, small costs repeat quietly. Once you notice that pattern here, you'll start seeing it everywhere. If you want more breakdowns like this, everyday products, real economics, no drama, subscribe. We'll keep pulling these categories apart, one at a time.